preparing to jump into the Black Ocean. Jack, smoking on the deck, intervenes. He doesn't just pull her back, he uses quick wit to save her from the freezing water, establishing their instant connection. In 1997, James Cameron released a 3-hour epic that didn't just break box office records, it crushed them. Titanic became the first film to hit $1 billion. But why does a tragic historical romance still captivate us decades later? It all starts in the freezing Atlantic, 85 years after the disaster. We meet Brock Lovett, a treasure hunter searching the ship's skeleton for a priceless diamond, the heart of the ocean. Instead, his team uncovers a preserved drawing of a nude woman wearing the jewel. Cut to California. An ancient woman sees the televised news report. It's Rose DeWitt Bukater. She claims to be the woman in the drawing. Brock flies her to his research ship, and as Rose looks at the modern sonar scans, the past comes alive. The rusted metal transforms into a gleaming golden ship. April 10th, 1912. We are introduced to our two leads, representing opposite ends of the Edwardian class system. First, 17-year-old Rose. She is trapped in a gilded cage. Her mother, Ruth, is forcing her to marry Cal Hockley, a wealthy, arrogant, steel heir, to save their family from bankruptcy. Rose boards first class, viewing the ship as a floating prison. Meanwhile, in a smoky pub near the docks, we meet Jack Dawson. He's a penniless, nomadic artist. In a literal last-second stroke of luck, Jack wins 2 third-class tickets in a poker game. He and his friend Fabrizio sprint to board the ship just before the gangplank goes up. The ship sets sail. Cameron uses massive sweeping camera angles to emphasize the sheer scale of the ship of dreams. Night 3, Rose's despair peaks. Suffocating under society's expectations, she runs to the stern, preparing to jump into the Black Ocean. Jack, smoking on the deck, intervenes. He doesn't just pull her back, he uses quick wit to save her from the freezing water, establishing their instant connection. Cal rewards Jack with a dinner invitation to first class as a token of appreciation. The next day, Jack and Rose walk the deck. Jack shares his philosophy, make each day count. He shows her his sketchbook, revealing his deep artistic soul. That evening, Jack survives the stiff, judgmental atmosphere of the first-class dining saloon. Afterward, he sneaks Rose down to third class. This scene is vital. The wild, beer-swilling, high-energy Irish party contrasts sharply with the cold, silent world upstairs. Rose lets her hair down, and they fall in love. The romance reaches its peak with 2 iconic cinematic moments. First, the flying scene at the bow of the ship, symbolizing Rose's newfound freedom. Second, the intimate drawing session in Rose's stateroom, where she wears only the heart of the ocean. They evade Cal's bodyguard and escape to the ship's cargo hold, sealing their love. Rose decides she will leave the ship with Jack when it docks in New York. But history is waiting. At 11:40 p.m., April 14th, the lookouts spot a massive iceberg directly ahead. The warning comes too late. First Officer Murdoch orders a hard turn, but the underwater ice tears a 300-foot gash along the starboard side. The ship's designer, Thomas Andrews, inspects the damage. His conclusion is chilling. The ship has an hour and a half to live. As the bow dips, the illusion of safety shatters. Cameron masterfully highlights the human horror through class disparity. Third-class passengers are locked behind iron gates to keep the lifeboats clear for the wealthy. Cal frames Jack for stealing the diamond, getting him locked in the draining master at arms office. Rose refuses to board a lifeboat without him. She abandons her mother, braves the flooding lower decks, and frees Jack with an axe just in time. Back on deck, the situation is desperate. There are only enough boats for half the people. Cal and Jack convince Rose to get into a boat, with Cal lying that he has a deal to save himself and Jack. As the boat lowers, Rose realizes she cannot leave Jack. She leaps back onto the sinking ship. In a brilliant explosion of fireworks by 2 a.m., the stern lifts high out of the water, exposing the massive propellers. The structural stress is too much. The Titanic snaps in half. The forward section sinks instantly, dragging the stern upright. Jack and Rose cling to the highest railing at the very back of the ship. At 2:20 a.m., the unsinkable ship disappears beneath the waves. More than 1,500 people are left floating in 28-degree water. Jack finds a carved wooden door frame. It can only support the weight of one person without sinking. He insists Rose get on it in his final heartbreaking monologue. Jack makes Rose promise she will survive, marry, have babies, and die an old woman in her warm bed. Jack succumbs to hypothermia, his body slipping into the abyss. Fifth Officer Lowe returns with a lifeboat, and Rose gathers the strength to blow a whistle, saving her life. The Carpathia rescues the survivors. Rose hides her identity from Cal, taking the name Rose Dawson. Back in the present day, old Rose finishes her story. Alone on the deck at night, she reveals she kept the heart of the ocean all along. She drops the priceless diamond into the sea, letting go of the past. The film ends as Rose passes away peacefully in her sleep, surrounded by photos of a life fully lived. Her soul returns to the Titanic, where the grand staircase is filled with everyone who perished. Jack is waiting by the clock, which reads 2:20. Titanic isn't just a disaster movie. It is a timeless exploration of love, class, and the resilience of the human spirit. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us your favorite scene in the comments below.